Natalie Foster, are you there?
I am here, and you're right. I would never betray you. I love you dearly.
See?
And also happen to love Independence Day. John, are you serious?
No, it was,
that was
Andrew.
Andrew.
Blame Andrew for that
Andrew
one.
Langer's here. He's the
Oh.
turkey.
It might be overexposure because it's always on cable now.
Is somebody
I don't
talking?
Know.
I hear talking.
I'll be quiet.
God,
I'll leave
Bird
now.
chirping.
man, that
I
is a
heard crickets.
that is a revelation. First of all, he tells us he likes Taxi Cab Confessions, and now
I didn't say I liked it.
and
I
now-
said the music was from it.
You've memorized every episode, and now he says he doesn't like Independence Day. I don't know that there's any way to redeem this man, but
I don't know.
It's good to talk to you, my dear. How are you?
I'm great. I'm good. I'm really questioning Andrew's taste at the moment, but other than that.
And you live in Los Angeles, and your significant other is in the movie industry.
Yes.
You know movies, so you know definitively that Andrew Langer is wrong, and
it's true.
I will take that on its face.
Yeah, sorry, man. Sorry, Andrew.
That's all
And
right.
yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
There you go. See?
God, you did betray me, Natalie. You did betray me.
I'm sorry.
we go.
I love you dearly.
I
but-
disagree on that
Our
one.
friendship is so tenuous.
It's a movie that happens during Christmas. It is not
It's
a
not a
Christmas
Christmas
movie.
movie.
That's right. Miracle on 34th Street, Christmas movie.
Okay, but it's like a dude Christmas movie. And dudes
Exactly.
need Christmas movies, too. I mean, we've got our chick flick Christmas movies.
It's a bunch of dudes who go around and shoot each other and curse. That's a Christmas movie?
We have a dude Christmas movie. It's called A Christmas Story.
There you go. Thank you.
There you go. That's true. That's
All right.
true.
Done.
Fine,
All right.
enough movie talk.
Shifting gears, Cameron
Yes.
Gray.
So there was this article in a paper in Oklahoma about women and firearms. Women explained why they own weapons. Natalie Foster, you've been with us for years. NRA News commentator. This is a big topic for you. You had the website Girls Guide to Guns. It's how we found you.
Yep.
Explain why women own firearms in your own words. Why
God.
what was 2013 like in the world of women and firearms, and what do you see going forward?
Well, 2013 for women in firearms was a wonderful year, bumper crop, if you will.
Yeah.
It's really exciting. Lots of women getting into the sport for their own reasons. I mean, there are as many reasons as there are women who choose to own firearms and shoot, and that's a really, really exciting, wonderful thing. I mean, I personally got into it just because it was a lot of fun, and I wanted to connect with my dad, and then all of the byproduct reasons came alongside it, like specifically the self-defense piece. And we're seeing, of course, a lot of that, and I don't know. I feel sometimes like it's a little bit misleading because fear often leads the news. So you hear a lot of women, or people in general, talking about becoming firearms owners for the first time because, they're afraid for their safety or whatever. And obviously that is definitely a factor. But I think more and more there are women who, and people in general, who really just enjoy shooting because it's so much fun and it's so empowering and it's so... you're engaging your body, your mind, like everything, and then you get to commune with nature. I mean, it's a great activity for everybody, and, everybody's taking all these various factors into consideration when owning a firearm for the first time, and they're doing it in droves, and it's really exciting for women.
So we were just talking to Dana Lash, from the Dana Show. She's now at the Blaze, and we
Yes.
were talking about her interactions with this woman, Shannon Watts, with Moms Demand, and of course, is the other side of the coin with this issue, where
Right.
there's moms and there's women who couldn't even imagine and have a huge issue with not only just people having guns, but they can't imagine a mom having a gun or having one to protect her children. And I'm sure you get this a lot, especially now that you're with NRA News. I'm sure you're pardon the pun, a bigger target when it comes to tweets and Facebook postings and comments. When you hear from the other side, what do you say back to them? Do you engage them? Do you try to make them see your side, or is it just some people that there's just no winning, there's no arguing?
No, sure. I mean, well, with some people, you're right. You're not going to win. So it's not even worth engaging in the argument. But honestly, I like to keep it above arguing. Mm-hmm. I really, I live in Los Angeles, as you mentioned. So it's not exactly a mecca for, for firearms being popular in that particular location.
Right.
But then again, you'd be surprised because a lot of firearm owners are just kind of quiet about it. They're very, because they feel like it's not very popular.
Well, we also hear conservatives are pretty quiet about it too. There's an underground conservative movement we keep hearing about that,
Yes.
that they keep it quiet.
Well, yes, that's accurate. I can't corroborate that. But,
right. Understood. Secret
yes,
handshake club.
Yeah, Fight Club.
It's true. So I just always try to really keep it positive. And, I have so many friends who are on the liberal side of things who are afraid of firearms and they all their associations with firearms are what they see from the negative, mainstream media. And, they haven't had any personal experiences. But once you get those people out there doing it for the first time, in a really safe, comfortable environment, I mean, the psychology of it all is very important. I mean, you need to make them feel safe and feel like they are protected, and they need to know all the safety rules to know that they're going to be okay. But, I mean, it really does come down to what is being said in the media. I mean, I was in New York City last week and had dinner with one of my old professors and his children, and one of them was a very adorable 8-year-old, and she was talking about, he told her what I do for a living, and she looked at me wide-eyed and said, "Wait, but you're a good guy."
Wow.
And I said, "You're right, I am." And I said, let's think about this for a minute. Good guys use guns too. So guns are not bad. Guns are not good. They just are a tool, kind of like a car, And so I was able to explain it to her. But, I mean, she literally had been indoctrinated with this idea that all guns are evil. And I think once we start flipping that paradigm and really showing people, I mean, it's all going to be based on experience, I really believe, and conversations. But once you get into an argument, I just think it's already lost. It's going to be, you got to keep it positive, at least in my experience,
And what's the most powerful thing? A good guy with a gun.
Yeah, precisely.
Right.
And that was one of the things I relayed to this kiddo, I said, look, the only way you can stop any of these, because she was very aware and knows all too well about, this school violence that's occurred in recent years, and which I'm glad she did, because she'll be aware if anything were to happen, and any warning signs that she needs to tell her teacher about, if there's a fellow student that's, at risk like that. But, she just needed to know that guns are not the bad thing. It's the bad guy is the bad thing.
And Natalie, what about this issue of empowering women? I mean, to me, it sends a very strong anti-feminist message to say to women that you cannot defend yourself, you cannot protect yourself, but you have to either be the victim or you have to rely on somebody else to do the protecting for you. I mean, where is there any sort of outreach to people on the left, frankly, to the feminist community on this issue of empowerment?
Well, that's the thing, right? I mean, they don't want to hear it,
yeah.
Unfortunately. But I think if you've got people who are really, women in particular, who are really willing to look at truth and weigh the facts as opposed to being, making emotional decisions. And I mean, a lot of our decisions are emotional, and honestly, protecting our families, that is a somewhat emotional decision, but we know that that's also the most logical way to protect ourselves and our families. So, when it comes to, I know that the feminists can't really, that doesn't make any sense, and I think they know that deep down. At least in my experience.
It gets down to this for me. There's that old stereotype of the father who is cleaning the shotgun when his daughter's first boyfriend comes over. I don't want to be that dad. I want to be the dad who has the daughter who knows how to use a shotgun,
right.
and her boyfriends know that too, and that way she is the one who is empowered to defend herself.
Right.
She's not relying on me or somebody else to do it. I mean, obviously she can rely on me, but
sure.
I want her to be able to defend herself.
No, and I think that's a perfect mentality, to be, and the reality is, women, I just got married this year, women are getting married later.
Mazel
thank you. They are, going to college, and I mean, it's just, there's a lot more independence now than there has been in decades past, and for women in particular, and it's good for them to be able to know how to change a tire and know how to operate a firearm, and just, the more that we can empower young women, the more confident they'll be, the more successful they'll be in life. And I think firearms are a huge part of that. They're not going away. Thank God they're not going away. And I think it's really important that dads in particular, like you said, and brothers and boyfriends and husbands, take that on and really introduce, and they have been. I mean, obviously this year's, like we said, has been huge for women getting into it. And women are teaching other women, but it's certainly still very much a male-dominated world. So we do rely on the guys to, help us out and really teach us gently, how to operate these firearms.
All right, to wrap it up here, Natalie, so you say it's a male-dominated world. We talked in our first interview segment today with the great Jessie Duff, reading from Ammo Land. This is today. Jessie Duff earns Grand Master rank with USPSA. She is the first woman to do this out of, all men have been Grand Masters before.
Wow.
When you read something like that, it means she had to maintain an average above 95% in shooting classification courses. We don't need to go down her history. I mean, she's unbelievable.
Sure, she's
and no
amazing.
no one's going to be, as much as you deal with guns, you're not going to be a Jessie Duff. Most women aren't going to be close to a Jessie Duff.
Right.
But she's an inspiration, and when you talk about a male-dominated world, she's a good example,
A role model.
She's a great role model. So when you look
fantastic.
to her, you have to just be proud.
Oh, I so am. I mean, between Jessie and, Julie Golub and Randy Rogers and so many of the other women, and of course that's not just the competitive shooting community. I mean,
Sure.
You've got other women that are, in the gun media, if you will, from Shelley Sargent over at Gun Nuts or, Annette Wachter, who's 30 Cal gal. She's
Yep.
also a competitor, but she's, participates in media as well. And there are just so many women that are really springing to the forefront, and they're so wonderful and supportive of each other. It's a really cool community, and I would just encourage more and more women to get out there, and for the guys to encourage the women in their lives to check into it and participate. I think they'll be really surprised with what they find.
Awesome. Natalie Foster, NRA News contributor, commentator. You have a great Christmas, a Merry Christmas, and check out Natalie's latest commentary and all her commentaries right here at NRAnews.com.
It's linked at NRA News, and we also just relinked it at Cam & Company, and we will see you in Las Vegas.
Yes,
Shot
we
show.
will. Merry Christmas, you guys. Happy New Year.
Merry
See you soon.
Christmas. Thanks,
Thank
Natalie.
you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.